Okay, so let's get started. We'll start sat up, cross-legged, kind of as we normally do, resting the hands on the knees, let the palms face up, let the shoulders relax down away from the ears, and if you feel comfortable with it, letting your eyes close. Obviously, if that feels really uncomfortable, you can always let the eyes stay open and maybe just bring the gaze down the nose to look at the floor. So we're not actually rounding down, we're just kind of looking down the nose. And we'll just take a moment here. A few deep breaths. Just noticing how you feel today, right now. So this is our Yoga for Strength class. So I'll give you options throughout the practice to make things a little bit harder, but you never have to do that. That is always optional. So maybe ask yourself, why am I here today? And it's okay if we feel like the answer is very obvious, like I'm here for strength. I'm here to move my body. But if the answer is something a little bit more, I just need to get away from work, or I needed to step away from my desk, or my mind's been a bit all over the place, then allow that reason to form part of your intention for your practice. So if your intention is focused on the mind and the mental health aspects of yoga, then choose an intention like I am peaceful, or I am calm, I am fully present in this moment. Whatever you feel like works for you. If your intention is related to your physical body, then really tune into that. So your intention could be, I listen to what my body needs. And that's a really good one. Whatever you choose, just mentally say it to yourself a few times. Nice big deep breaths here. Noticing your space. Noticing any distractions, whether that's very physical, maybe you're sharing your space with other people, or very mental. Maybe your mind is still on that email we were writing before we sat down. Taking those deep breaths. And with every inhale and exhale, draw your awareness closer and closer onto your mat. Almost imagining that there is nothing outside the four corners of your yoga mat. Feel the feet on the floor. And the connection with the earth. Feel the breath. As we start to move more and more into spring, as we start to grow a little bit and come out of the harshness of winter and into the warmth and the sunshine, we can come across these feelings of being stuck, uncertain. It's change. Change is something that we're not sure about. So if we feel like that today, just noticing. And then when you feel ready, if you haven't yet, you can start to let the eyes blink open. We'll swap the cross of the legs, so maybe having a little movement and then bringing the other foot in front. And take the hands down by the sides. As you inhale, reach your right hand up. As you exhale, start to lean off to the left. So we want to press into that left hand so we feel that stretch down the side of the body. As always, we're not aiming to reach the floor here. It's more about aiming to reach that point between the ceiling and the wall. So we're reaching up at an angle. And as you inhale, we feel that expansion between little intercostal muscles between the ribs, and creating space there for the breath. When you're ready, inhale as you come back up, exhale to the other side. Same thing again. So that long reach through the side of the body, that engagement through the core. And again, if you feel like it's scrunching too much at the side, don't feel like you have to force it. You can always lift up a bit, change the position of the spine slightly so that that reach is happening more from the side, because we do want to ground down through the hips. When you're ready, start to inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, go to the other side again. Left hand down, right hand over the head. And then this time you have that option. You could take the hand off the floor, grab the wrist, pull it away. Engage through the belly. This one's a little bit harder. So again, reminding you, I'm giving you these options to make it harder if you want that in your practice. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale to the other side. So swapping wrists, leaning over, seeing if you can stay rooted down. One more breath. And then slowly starting to come back to center. Start to release the hands down by the sides a little bit slowly. Feel it, all those little joints in the fingers and the wrists and the shoulders and the elbows. Maybe you get a little pop. A little noise, a little snap out one of the joints, a good snap. And then roll the shoulders. From here, we're going to straighten the legs. So I'm going to come off of my blanket prop. If you have any props, just make sure they're helpful, not hindering. Start to straighten the legs, pull the toes back towards the shins, bring the hands onto the hips, walk the hips back a little bit. Take a big deep breath in as you reach up. As you exhale, start to fold forward, reaching for the feet. It does not matter if you touch your toes. Noticing how that feels down the whole back of the body. And as always, if you only feel it in the knees, let the knees bend. If you feel a sharp sensation around the sitting bones, let the knees bend. That might help with that. You want to feel a nice stretch in the meat of the muscle. So we're really not aiming for tendons, we're aiming for the meat of the muscle, really feeling that stretch there. And it does not matter if you touch your toes. One more deep breath. And then start to come back up to center, maybe engaging through the core and bringing the hands up with you. Then take the hands out to the side, a little bit active, a little bit strong, and then back behind you. Fingers face forward, bend the elbows, engage through the belly. Start to bend the knees, bring the feet flat, lift the belly first, so a little back bend here, lifting the chest, roll the shoulders back. So you get a little back bend, but the strongest feeling might be in the shoulders as we do this stretch here. Have a breath. And then slowly start to come back to center. Bring the spine back to neutral. When you feel ready, we'll see about pressing into the feet and lifting up. Keep a little bend in the elbows. It's going to feel a little bit harder, but it's better for the wrists. Keep pressing into the fingertips. Keep the belly engaged. Keep lifting the hips. Maybe one more breath here. And then we'll take some movement. So drop the hips a little lower and bring them back up. Again, going down and up. Down and up, down and up. Maybe a couple more. Down and up, down and up, down and up. Hold that position, lifting up with the hips, and then see if you can straighten the legs. This is definitely optional. One heel and then the other pointing the toes. It doesn't matter if the toes touch, but the more you lift the hips, the more likely they are to get down. One more breath. And then go down with straight legs. Engage through the belly and maybe kind of round forward, wiggling through the wrists. Reaching for the toes, your Paschimottanasana. Have a breath. When you feel ready, start to come back up to center and then start to come forward. Reach the hands forward and start to roll down the spine. Engage through the belly. See if you can go a little bit slow. And we'll go for our dead bug. So this is a fantastic movement to help with back pain. So if this is something that you really struggle with, I would recommend trying to do this for just a couple minutes or 60 seconds every day for a few days in a row, and I bet it would help. So it does depend on what your back pain stems from, but if it's from sitting and work and things like that, then working on a computer, then this might help. So we'll start by reaching the hands up towards the ceiling. And then we'll see about bringing the right foot off the floor. Keep the knee keep the knee over the hip and the shin parallel with the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to press that right foot away, take it down towards the floor. As you do, keep the hips, the pelvis, and the spine perfectly level. So don't let them move. Slowly bring that foot back up. Again, press it away. This time take the left hand over the head. So we're staying stable through the core and bring it back up. One last time on this side, pressing it away and down and coming back up. Swap sides, so right foot comes down, left foot comes up. Again, we're going to press that foot away, Take it down. Notice how it feels. So again, we're trying for that stability through the whole hip. If you're not sure, put your hands there. Feel it. You can feel the hips move. You can feel it shift if it's not strong enough to hold the leg that low. And we want to make sure we only go low as that strength can allow. And then bringing that leg back up. Again, press it away. Take the right hand over the head. Nice, big, deep, slow breaths. One more time. Press it away. And back up. And then when you're ready, if you want the hardest variation of this, we take both feet off the floor. Hands reach up towards the ceiling. We stay strong through the core. This one's harder because you don't want to go too far, and you also don't want to let it sink into the joints. So we have to keep that stability, that neutral spine here. That's hard just holding it. And then we're going to try for some movement, which it makes it even harder. So don't worry. If this is too much, you just put one foot back down and you just build up to it over time. When you're ready, right leg straightens, maybe goes down towards the floor, left hand goes over the head, and we bring them both back up. Left leg straightens, right hand over the head, and back up. Right leg, and up. Left leg, and up. This time, see if you can, as you straighten the leg, see if you can keep the left knee over the hip. It likes to come more and more towards the belly button. Don't let it go that far. And back up. Again, don't let that knee come over the belly. Keep it over the hip. And then left leg, right hand. And back up. And we'll keep going. So the first time that I did this, I could do like 2 or 3, and then I had to stop. It was just too much. So again, there's no harm in resting when you need to rest, because we want to keep those muscles stable. We want to keep the back from lifting up or going flat. I'm going to do one more on each side. And then coming back to center, bring the feet down, take the arms out to the sides, maybe a cactus arm shape if that feels okay on the shoulder, and just take the knees from side to side. Just have a little windscreen wiper motion, just dropping them from side to side. Big deep breaths. Feel the burn. And let it go. And then from here, we're going to take the soles of the feet together. So the bottoms of the feet touch, knees drop out to the side, bring the hands down onto the belly. Lift the chin a little bit, let the shoulders come down away from the ears, and then relax here. If you feel some strong discomfort in the hips, then I would recommend that you pop something under the thighs to support them. So really get something under there to stop that from settling into the hips. If it feels like a comfy stretch in the muscles, then it should be fine for a few breaths. At any point it feels uncomfortable, you can either bring the knees up, use supports, or straighten the legs. And then again, if you feel comfortable with it, letting the eyes close. Taking some deep breaths here. And imagine you can take those breaths down into the belly. And imagine that again, with each breath, you become more and more aware of the body. More and more aware of the mind. What do we need out of our practice? What can we get from our day, from our lives? Is there a way that we could relax a little bit more here? Maybe we straighten the legs for a couple breaths. And again, asking yourself, why am I here? What do I want? Listening to that answer. And then when you feel ready, letting the eyes open, see about hugging the knees in towards the chest, maybe a little rock from side to side if that feels nice. And then hold behind the knees, rock yourself up, to seated. From here, we're going to take our boat pose. So bring that block between the knees if you have one. Hold behind the knees. Start to find that balance point coming onto the tippy toes first. One foot, then the other. Maybe we don't need the hands. We can give that block a little squeeze. Lift through the chest. Maybe some movement here. We could take the feet down and up, down and up, down and up. If that's too much, don't feel like you have to. When you feel ready, coming up and then letting the feet come down flat. Release that block and take a cross-leg position again. Rest the hands on the knees. Let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. If you think it would feel nice, you could take a forward fold here. So you could come into your round angle. Again, if you feel a comfy stretch in this position, and just allow yourself to round forward. Allow the eyes to close. Notice how you feel. And you can stay here, as always, for as long as you like. But thank you so much for joining this little taster of our Yoga for Strength class. If you want to do more, listen to your body. Your mat is out. You're already here. Keep going. If you want to join live, then you're always welcome to join me live. Thank you so much.